Hi, this is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 26th of November. Starting off with the S&P, and here you can see we've got that rising trend channel there, floor nominally around the 65.20 mark. And while we are above that, looking for the top of the channels as high as 70.50 by the end of next month. That's a punchy call, but it's a punchy time of year. And obviously, we've got Thanksgiving in the way. More end of day closes above the 50-day line, 67.16 of what we need at the moment, but that's rising. RSI is above neutral 50, and so is the 50-day line. So looks pretty set fair. The only thing missing, perhaps, is that one could say that there's a resistance line, as I'm drawing at the moment, around 68.10 to be broken. So maybe if you're fussy, you'd wait for that. But the closing above a rising 50-day line and the RSI above neutral 50 is normally enough of a leading indicator to take us up in a market. Moving along to the Nasdaq 100, and here obviously everyone's talking about the AI issues, but AI bubble issues rather, but very similar chart here to that of the S&P, slightly lower on the RSI, but just at 50, and just slightly less above the 50-day moving average, around 25,000, but still similar setup, and still looking for the top of the channel, in this case up to 27,000 by the end of next month, while we're above the 24,000 support area of the November to date. Moving along to the stocks, and perhaps rather, well, not as exciting as we wanted it to be, but one or two famous names. First one is Abercrombie and Fitch. Fitch is breaking the resistance line there on the 200-day moving average at around the $83 level. And while we're above that, looking for the shares to hit the top of that broadening triangle there from March last year, as high as $114, maybe on a 1 to 2 month basis, maybe give that till the end of January. Next on the list is a stock which I don't think we covered before, Amentum Holdings. Here we already got the rising trend channel there mapped out from the beginning of the year. Top of the channel there at $32, and that was the target almost exactly hit yesterday, but just slightly shy of that. Next level up would be the upper parallel of that rising trend channel up towards $43. Let's see if the shares can do that early in the new year. And obviously the trigger for that would be an end of day close through $32. Onto a stock which hopefully will have further recovery over and above what we've already seen. Here you can see Boasheng coming back from the top of the channel there. It's been quite loyal to that channel, which is rather strange, but hitting that line there around the $5.50 level. Looking good at the moment, though, with the gap close that we've had so far this week, closing that last gap there towards 238 cents. And current situation above the 200-day moving average at $2.74. We're looking for a full move back up to the top of the channel, $5.60, perhaps as soon as the end of next month. On to a stock which is perhaps new to us as well, Innovation Beverage. And here you can see that we're bouncing off the floor of the recent range, so towards $1.50, and broken recent resistance around $2.20, in fact $2.25 to be precise, above that. Looking for at least the 200-day line around $3.10, and top of the range and top of the channel there up to $3.80, perhaps by the end of next month. We've looked at Kohls Group before, and it's back again with an unfilled gap to the upside. Wide rising trend channel there. Best guess is that it's heading towards $30, and hoping with that by the end of next month. While we're above recent, basically yesterday's intraday low, $19.40 on an end of day close basis, above that should take us up to $30. Moving along, and we've got Lucas, and here trying to regroup after the rather devastating blow seen in September. Here we've broken recent resistance around the $2.36 level, and above that looking for the top of the November range, $3.50. Hopefully in coming days, if we're lucky, we'll hit that 50-day line, however, briefly at $3.97, even if we head back down again after that. NanoVibronix is next. Sounds very technological and everything else. Here we've got a falling trend channel there, top of the channel there at $6.18. We're looking for that in coming days, while we're above a recent broken resistance around the 480 mark. So hopefully shares can deliver what a modest move higher from where we are at the moment. Nukkleus is next, spelt wrongly, and here you can see that we've got a rising trend channel base of the channel there, roughly level with the 200-day line at $10. And recent resistance, I suppose you could call it the previous day's resistance around 560. Above that looking at the top of the channel at $10 by the end of next month. Relatively punchy call, but you can see it's quite a volatile situation, so it could step up to the plate. Paranovus is next, and here, falling trend channel, you could argue just about exactly where it is, but above the 50-day line there at 74 cents, looking at the top of the channel, top of the range towards $1.10, and hoping for that over the next 2 to 4 weeks. Ideally, we stay above that 50-day line, whatever happens. Last on the list is Surrozen, and here, rising trend channel. We've got a little breakout here through the $14 to $15 area. Above $15, looking for the top of the channel there at $19.50. Hoping for that by the first half of December. You can also see that we've had a couple of RSI 50 rebounds. Last one particularly good as it was off a rising 50-day line as well. So 50 and 200-day lines both rising, so it does appear that we are on our way with this particular breakout. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.